Welcome back guys to the third episode of Italian Politician of the Week. I'm your host Ipernick. So far in July we talked about a living meme and a Karen. It has been a wild ride so far and I hope you agree. Today we're talking about the current Minister of Justice, Alfonso Bonafede. There is a lot to say about Bonafede, his career in the five-star movement, his views and most importantly his contributions as a Minister of Justice. What is most striking about Bonafede is his appearance. He doesn't look like the face of Italian justice, more like the face of a GameStop employee trying to hype you up for the release of the next Animal Crossing. But don't make my same mistake, there's a lot more about Bonafede that meets the eye. Let's get into it. Let's start off with his titles. Bonafede was born in Sicily in 1976 and graduated in law in 1995 at the University of Florence. He also got a master and a PhD at the University of Pisa before becoming a lawyer in 2006. He however had other plans. That same year he joined the five-star movement and in 2009 ran for mayor of Florence. He only got like 2% of the votes, but his candidacy made him relatively popular in the party to the point that he was elected to the Chamber of Deputies in 2013. Then when Conte became Prime Minister in 2018, he was put in charge of the Ministry of Justice. Bonafede is a bit of a black sheep among the few well-educated five-star members. First of all, he has a PhD, which is unheard of, but also he has very strong views on law and order. They are authoritarian to say the least. He is a follower of justicialism, which is a way of interpreting the law that undermines the civil rights and the liberal concept of innocent until proven guilty. One of the first things he did when he took office was to propose the law spaccacorrotti, which means crook smasher. In Italian it sounds stupid, but in English it sounds great. Essentially what the law did was to extend prison sentences to people arrested for corruption or being associated with organized crime. This was done in response to the previous laws made by the Democratic Party a few years before, which had loosened up sentences for people who committed minor crimes in order to make prisons less crowded. Bonafede doesn't have a lot of faith on rehabilitation, so he'd rather fix the problem by making punishments worse. This may please some people that criminals are getting harsher sentences than expected, but keep in mind that our justice system, even though it's pretty good in my opinion, it is not perfect and sometimes the wrong people are punished. Furthermore, the problem with overcrowded prisons is no scoffing matter, and Bonafede was heavily criticized for his laws when many criminals attempted to break out of their prisons during the corona outbreak, not to mention the conditions they were in, which weren't the best I imagine. Bonafede did quite a lot in the 2 years he was in office. He worked with Minister Buongiorno to pass a law against violence on women and children and updated the Orlando law, a law that undermined the privacy of a person when not directly under investigation. In his words, the approved reform enhances wiretapping as an investigation tool, but at the same time guarantees the privacy of the citizens. To me, they sound like conflicting statements, but sure, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Bonafede seems a very capable man. In fact, Di Maio and Salvini even considered him as prime minister, though they eventually chose Conte instead due to his centrist political opinions. Bonafede is currently the representative of five-star in the government, and he is very well respected in his party. Unlike many of his colleagues, he is far from incompetent. Even though I disagree with many of his views and interpretations of the law, I appreciate his professionalism and I'm happy for not having to make fun of him for his intellect. This doesn't mean I won't poke fun of him for other reasons.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
I think that's it. I will see you next Friday.